Welcome to Women of the Wild,
where education and opportunities are key,
and friendships are made to last a lifetime.
Did you get it?
You think we got him? You think we got him? We got him.
All right, Skylar, what do we got here?
We've got a nice looking rip off.
Oh, there she is. Woo! You dropped our great ghost.
Give me a hug.
Welcome back to Season 2 Women of the Wild podcast. We would like to first start off by thanking our title sponsors for the 2024 year. Atlantic Coral Enterprise, one of the largest import dealers in the world with excellent quality for hides, skulls, shells, and amazing gifts for friends and family or even your household. You can find them at AtlanticCoralEnterprise.com. RM Custom Called, multiple world championships from Main Street to Live Duck. American made, veteran owned. When you want to win on the stage or in the blind, we have you covered. Small shop, big sound. You can find them at rmcustomcall.com or on Instagram. We also have Rhino Land Safaris, providing exceptional quality with unmatched hospitality and cuisine, offering African safaris, a destination hunt for the avid rifle or bow hunter with some of the best trophy management South Africa has to offer. You can find them at rhinoland.co.za or on Facebook, Instagram.
Hey everyone, Andy Lehman here from ACC Crappie Sticks. Just want to let you know about our crappie baits and jig heads. We have a wide selection of the hottest colors and big eye crappie jig heads in the most popular colors and sizes. Check them all out at accrappiesticks.com. Thank you.
And now for today's episode, we hope you enjoy.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Women of the Wild podcast. I am your host, Linda White, and I am here with the board today. Hi, ladies. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. So in case you are a first-time listener, our board is made up with Felicia Marie, who is our founder of Women of the Wild, along with Cass, who is in charge of all of our PRs and all the fun stuff we've got going on, where there's connecting points as far as events and everything else. And then there's me, Linda White, who does a lot of our media management and those things. Just in case, just a little recap of that. Felicia, why don't you go into a little recap of what 2023 was for Women of the Wild?
Yeah, 2023 was an awesome year for us. We had a lot of great events, starting from Cranes down in Texas with that annual event. We hosted a women's veteran event that was completely sponsored, where we took some female veterans out to Arkansas on some pintails, threw that right into West Texas on an aoudad hunt, came back and did turkeys, we did walleye, we did bow fishing in Wisconsin, and we went to Africa last year with a great co-ed event, came back and did some sturgeon, some multi-species, some educational courses throughout the year of canning, trapping, educational waterfowl, threw that right into duck season. I mean, we've kind of been all over the place and all over the United States and even internationally. So it was just an incredible year. We just closed out our 2023 year with a final event back in Texas for the Sandhill Crane Goose Hunt. And just an awesome, spectacular year. Huge thank you to all of our sponsors who make that possible. We've done 2 donated female veteran events throughout the year, that duck hunt down in Arkansas. We also did a walleye event. We have some more of those coming for the following years, but just an awesome year with a great team. We added on a few more team members, so we have 11 girls total on the team, and they're all over the United States. We have girls in Texas and Kansas and New York and Ohio, Michigan, kind of all over the place. And that's in hopes to hit a bigger demographic and service more ladies around the United States.
So what you're saying is I should have asked you more of what we didn't do in 2020.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, well, with all of that, what's new in 2024? What do we've got coming up?
Oh gosh, 2024 is going to be an awesome year. You know, we're still kind of in our infancy. We started in 2021 and we hit the ground running, and we've learned a lot, and we've gotten a lot of feedback from our listeners, our participants on our private group of what they want to see. So we're definitely listening. Our ears are perked up when these girls talk about wanting a specific event. So we are starting off the year. We have some trapping courses coming up. We're bringing back our monthly online educational courses. We have a pheasant, a tower hunt. We're doing some co-ed. We're doing some family events. We have a shotgun clinic coming up in February, an all women's pheasant hunt in February. We have some steelhead fishing out on the west side of Michigan, a whole bunch of new and improved events coming. We're going back to Africa in May. We have that co-ed event that still has some spots available. We're going to be doing more duck hunts. We're going to be spreading our wings and taking that flight throughout the United States a little bit further. And we're going to have events to come throughout the year all over the place, and new and exciting events that, you know, keeping some of the old ones, but adding some new ones in there from what our listeners and our audience have told us that they want.
Cass, you want to dive in a little bit about our new subscription that we've got going on?
Yeah. So we had a lot of girls come to us and say, hey, I didn't even know this event was going on. Or one of the big ones was we do our yearly calendar contest. And we'll have girls that are like, oh, I totally would have tried to get into that, but I didn't even know about it. Or the cooking book. Oh, I didn't know you guys had a cookbook. I didn't know recipes had to be submitted by a certain date. Well, we heard and we were like, this is a perfect opportunity to get out a yearly newsletter. And mind you, this yearly newsletter has a little bit of everything. So it would be a once a month. It is a subscription. So you pay one time for the full year, and then you get a monthly newsletter that not only tells you about upcoming events before everyone else sees them. When we know about them, they get put in there. When we do new merchandise drops, they get put in the newsletter, and you get to see those firsthand too, as well as a monthly recipe, getting to see some different recipes on different ways you can make some of your wild game or use some of your harvested veggies or your mushrooms that you foraged. And then there's also a women's spotlight. So we'll pick randomly a girl who's been super active in the outdoors, super active with our group, and do a whole spotlight on her. And that can be anyone who's got a great story to share, or anyone who is been getting out there a lot. This doesn't have to be some big name person. Don't feel like anything like that would get you for not being in these spotlights. It can be anyone. And then we also have specific discounts that only subscribers get. So whether that's 10% off of your online order, or if that's free shipping for this month, or you win a free hat just for being a subscriber. Each month we'll do something a little bit differently. And the crazy part is it's only $25 for the full year. That's a whole year of getting to see events first, getting to see that new merchandise, getting a whole 12 new recipes that you get to try. It's just so much more than just, oh, it's a monthly newsletter, an email I have to open. It's so much more than that. I'm really excited to get it rolling. We already have people signing up. We sent out our December sneak peek newsletter for those girls who did sign up earlier in December, and we'll be hitting January hard with our new newsletter. We just hope to get all of those girls who feel like they're not seeing things because they're not as active on Facebook, or they're not as active on Instagram, or just maybe social media in general isn't their big platform to be on. This gives them another way to be able to get involved with just one click.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think the nice thing about that is like you had said, you're getting discounts and those things in there where, yeah, it's $25, but it's allowing you to basically make that $25 up. We're going to do some online classes. They get that for free, correct?
Correct. If you are a newsletter subscriber, you will get free educational workshops online, just the online ones. We may also have discounts to other events as well that only newsletter subscribers would get an opportunity at.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, if you have taken, say, an online class, maybe have done, one or two in-person events along with grabbed a sweatshirt at any time, you made your $25 back right there. So, yeah, I think it's a great value. I think that, and like you said, it allows people who just maybe we're not showing up in their feed. If you're like me, I forget that my phone exists sometimes and I come back to 1,000 messages and 1,000 new things and I don't get to see everything that I want to. This is coming right personally to you. So I think that's awesome. And if you have any questions about it, reach out on our personal page. You can also in the group, we have a Women of the Wild group. You can ask some questions there. You can email us, whatever. And this is all on our website. So you just go to womenofthewild.net and you can plug in right there to subscribe. You pay your $25 fee and that gets you right in for the entire year. So Felicia, what else do we have to expect?
Gosh, we have the online courses that are coming back monthly, which, like you said, with the newsletter, the value is beyond there with something like that because just those educational courses alone, you're making your money back there. So that's a really spectacular thing. The online courses are coming back this year. We took a short break for the summer and we kind of like grabbed our bearings and hit the ground running for the 2024 year. We have in-person education coming. We have, these events all over the place that are coming. We have January 1st new merch that is available for everyone that our newsletter subscribers got the headway on that. And then incredible sponsors. We're doing a bunch of giveaways this year, a lot of things to look forward to. So if you're not following the page, make sure that you're putting your friends on that page. Make sure your family's following. We'll have that cookbook coming out again that we're already taking recipes on the website for the 2025 cookbook. We're going to be running that calendar again. We stick to our roots and do a lot of that same routine annual events. And with the newsletter, this is going to be a really big asset for Women of the Wild to reach more people. We have a lot of women that don't use social media at all or are very limited on it. So that's going to be a great way for us to reach more people. And we have some sponsored events coming up for our female veterans, doing a lot more outreach with children, with just getting together with your entire family involved, or co-ed. I know a lot of people have said, like, I would love to do this, but my husband has to come with me, or I'd love to take my dad on this and take my son. Like, those are things that we're listening to. And I know that we're Women of the Wild, but we understand that we are all family oriented and we want to involve the family out there. So we have definitely dove into a little bit of that last year, but this year for 2024, we really did listen and we are going to be giving that option out.
And like you said, we do listen to those that are out there. So, we're always open for something new. If we might not have it on our books right now, but if you have an idea or something that you want to plug into, let us know. We have some really great minds that are working behind the scenes, whether it's the board, it's the ambassadors, our PRs. We have some really amazing women that are working to bring this stuff to you. But every now and then, Felicia and I even joke about how Cass and I kind of finish each other's sentences. So we're all kind of on the same page with things. And there are things that we don't think about. So we'd love to hear about you, what you want to do, what you think would be a great idea for 2024 or even 2025 as well. And on that note, let's hear from some other great people. Here are some of our sponsors that do support us and what we are doing.
Share your love of the outdoors with your little ones through the exciting adventures in Dr. Josh Farr's children's books. As an avid sportsman, Dr. Josh Farr has taken his passion for the outdoors and uses his vivid storytelling to teach valuable lessons and appreciation of the world. Learn the alphabet through the ABCs of hunting. Find joy in exploring the outdoors with Let's Go Out and Play and more. You and your child will love learning about nature with Dr. Josh Farr. See all of his books now at drjoshfarr.com. That's DRJOSHFARR.com.
Weeby Knives, a brand of skinning, fleshing, and butchering knives perfect for the hunters, trappers, and fishermen, with a unique high-quality knife for animals of all shapes and sizes. You can find them and more information at weebyknives.com or on Facebook, Instagram. Stonehouse Digital Consulting. Elevate your small business with Stonehouse's expert marketing solutions. Ignite your online presence and thrive with a tailored strategy to drive your growth. You can find them and more information at stonehousedigitalconsulting.com or on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Livingston County Pheasants Forever, Chapter 465, with a mission to conserve pheasant, quail, and other wildlife through habitat improvements, public access, education, and conservation. You can contribute by joining the meetings on the first Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. at the Howell American Legion Hall on the corner of M59 and Grand River. For more information and to get involved, you can find them at pf465.com or on Facebook, Instagram. Dreamcatcher Charters, a Michigan-based guide service for walleye, sturgeon, and duck hunting, with a passion that drives their success, sharing the phenomenal Michigan waterways with everyone. You can find them on Facebook, Instagram. Feather Moon Outdoors, offering calls made from select materials. Every pot is fine-tuned in the house using the highest quality materials available. Also offering diaphragm, slate, glass, grunt calls, and more. For more information, you can find them at feathermoonoutdoors.com or on Facebook, Instagram. Stay tuned, more podcasts to come.
All right, welcome back. I wanted to bring up, Felicia was talking about what to expect in 2024, and I did want to make sure that everybody is checking out our website. It is www.womenofthewild.net. On there, you're going to find our cookbook. Like Felicia said, we are still keeping up that you can submit for 2025. At the end of the year, our new cookbook that would be coming out later on in the year, but you can also purchase the one that we just dropped. There are some really amazing recipes in there. I have to say, like, compared to last year, I mean, we had a lot of good things last year. Don't get me wrong. There were a lot of good things that were in there, but this year, our cookbook, I think Felicia, you've heard that people said this should be on shelves, right?
That we should be putting it in bookstores. Yes, this cookbook compared to last year, like I said, we were in our infancy. We're still growing, and it's definitely showing in the product that we're producing. Whether it's the podcast, whether it's the cookbook, whether it's the calendar, everything is kind of growing with us. The spotlights that were available throughout the calendar were amazing. Then we dropped, which calendars are sold out for the 2024 year, so we're excited to get those rolling for the 2025 year again. The cookbook, it comes out in typically about November. That way everyone can get it in time for Christmas. But this year's cookbook, it floored me of the responses we had, the quality of recipes, the diversity of recipes. There's anything in there from your varmints up to your big game to fishing and ducks and gardening and grandma's old recipes of how to can or pickles. Like, it's all in there, and it's not just for the hunter or fisherman in your life. It is for the gardeners, the foragers. There is something for everyone. There's the spotlights on all these women that produce these incredible recipes. Women all over the United States put those recipes in there, and they are their family favorites. And I'll tell you, some of them we've cooked, and they are spectacular. Things that I've cooked wild game for many years, and that's all that we eat. There's recipes in there that I never even thought of. So you don't have to be like this some excelled cook. There's basic recipes all the way up to these extravagant, fantastic recipes to take to your holiday dinners or family get-togethers. And there's sides and appetizers, and everything's broke down into categories of whether it's dessert, whether it's an entree, whether it's fishing, whether it's turkey and upland birds or big game. So it's just a very diverse cookbook, and it is, probably 3 times thicker than last year's. We had a couple people this year that purchased this year's and last year's. The response that we got from it was, oh my gosh, this is so much more than what I thought it would be. You guys need to put this in a bookstore. And it's like, this is exclusive to the people that follow us with Women of the Wild. It is a fantastic cookbook. It's a great addition to anyone's kitchen, and just some great ideas and tips and tricks of everything. And when it comes to cooking something, we don't always know how to prepare something. And especially if it's a game I know that on our Women of the Wild events, the big thing that we've always done is we cook a lot of game at these events. And typically it's geared towards like, what haven't you tried? What would you like to try? And I know our fly fishing trip last year, we had some girls who had never eaten duck and never eaten goose. So I made a goose stew and I did some stuffed peppers with duck and venison. And they were like, okay, now I want to hunt it because I had never had it prepared that way. I didn't care for it. And now that I've eaten it and know that it can taste like that. So it introduces these women and men even into wanting to try those things or try hunting this specific species because they didn't know it was edible or they've had it prepared so many times that they didn't like it and they were like, well, there's no reason to hunt it. So it opens up that conversation of what else can you hunt, which is fantastic for conservation efforts because the more people we're introducing to the outdoors and educating them, the better we're going to be with conservation efforts later. So everything becomes a full circle and there's intent behind everything we do. Educating women, providing these recipes, it's better for all of us as a whole. We're one generation away from losing everything. So why not keep reintroducing and build an educated force to be able to back up our conservation efforts for the future?
Yeah, and I'd also like to add on that cookbook, if you have any kind of allergies and stuff, I have celiacs, and I made sure that we had even a dessert in there for you gluten-free people, and I know that there are some things in there too that are like dairy-free and that, so this really is for everybody. If you want something to try, something a little bit new, and because I know like me, it's so hard to find things to eat, you can find something in here. Trust me, it's awesome. I think we really outdid ourselves on
Yes.
that one. Absolutely. Absolutely. I wanted to say, I touched a little bit about the newsletter that you can subscribe on our website, but Cass had brought up about we highlight some of the women. And if there's a woman that maybe you've seen her on our pages or she's new to something or you think that she really needs to be highlighted, email us. You can email us at womenofthewildoutdoors@gmail.com. And Cass, I'm sure would love to get, those women out on those monthly newsletters, even maybe highlight them on our personal pages, or you can just send us a PM or whatever as we'd love to, like Cass was saying, it's not just those big names, it's anybody. We want those ladies to feel special. So, I mean, is there any kind of real requirements or anything that we have, Cass? It's really just anybody, isn't it?
Yeah, we don't really have a requirement other than please actually send a bio, not just your name. But even if maybe it's not just for the newsletter, we have we had a girl who got her first trapped animal. She just started trapping this year and was really excited. She got her first bobcat. She was so excited. She sent us the message on our Facebook page. Even that right there, we will do a post about that because that is it's such an exciting moment that not only you got to experience, but now you get to share with all of us and we can all see that. And a lot of people don't realize that you're like, oh, well, I just caught a fish, or oh, well, it's just a white-tailed deer. It doesn't matter what it is, because even if it's your first one or your 10th one, you sharing those things, you making those posts, even if you send it to us and we make it for you, there might be that girl sitting on the sideline who's like, well, I don't know if I should do this, or I don't know if I can do this. And the more girls that she sees doing it, it builds up a support system. I never hunted. I always wanted to. I have now. Until about 2, 3 years ago, I never really hunted. I hunted a couple, like squirrel hunting sometimes. And after being part of this group and then also seeing women after women after women starting these things and going, oh, I got my first duck. And then I'm like, oh, I've seen a lot of people this season get their first duck. I want to get my first duck. And I don't think a lot of girls realize that something that you think can be so small to you might be huge to someone else. Whether it's your first time doing something or your 100th time doing something, you can still be some type of role model or support for someone else who maybe it's not their first time. Maybe they're still scared to get their toes wet into this atmosphere. That's why I love personally so much when girls send us these private messages and go, look at what I did. Or the girls who email us and go, hey, I'd really like to share my experience. or the ladies who just take it upon themselves and go, I'm going to make a post in this page so people can like and share it and comment on it and we can interact. That is what I like to see. And that to me is a lot of what we started this group for, is to connect all these women and then also to allow other women to kind of come out of their shell in a space where they feel like they can. And so that's why if you have any hesitations about what you should send us, or if you should, or if you feel like you qualify, send us it.
Absolutely. Cass, I've always said, if a post provides any type of education or inspiration, that is what Women of the Wild is about. And those spotlight posts are incredible because they provide education, they provide inspiration, and inspiring other women into the outdoors is that purpose of building a sisterhood. But aside from even the spotlights, the podcast. If you're listening to this now, you know that we have a podcast, but share it out because we have women that we're doing that same thing with. We're spotlighting women in podcasts. We are, talking to some of these girls who are very educated and they're sharing their tips and tricks or basic skills. We talk about inspirational stories. And we also have the new and exciting for 2024, the trivia, the once a month trivia drop on the third Wednesday of every month. That is another platform for us to be able to utilize to spread education and hopefully resonate a little bit of that trivia within these girls to get involved and excited for this new game that they can play alongside us with Women of the Wild, or if they want to come on it, they can email us at womenofthewildtrivia@gmail.com. If they have trivia questions, if they want to be on the trivia, anything that is going to involve more women in the outdoors is what we are here to do. And there is a place for you, regardless whether it's in a cookbook or in a calendar or on a showcase or maybe on a podcast or joining an event with us. That's what we are here to do, is to support all of you.
I'd love to keep going with that because I honestly feel like it's just contagious. You see something, and Cass was saying, she'd never hunted before, and you see all these people and you see all these things, and you're like, oh, I'm doing that. So I just think it's awesome. I think it's really great to share your story, no matter how big or how small you think it is. It touches somebody, and that's important. The whole purpose of this all. I do want to touch a little bit about the new merch that we have coming out. And if you're, like I said, if you're getting the newsletter, you already saw this, but we have some new merch that's actually going to drop. Well, when this airs, it'll have already dropped. So I just thought about that one. And anything with our new merch, that part of that goes to our education fund, right, Felicia? Like, that's how we have it set up.
Yeah, so our new merch drop, again, our ears are always on the ground listening to these girls, and we've improved and we've decided to go a completely different route with our merchandise. So our snapback hats are back, which these girls love. We have some wooden engraved keychains and koozies that when you purchase over $100 in merchandise, you automatically get a keychain and a koozie for free. We have hoodies, we have t-shirts, we have women's cut. We've taken pretty much any information that these girls have provided of what they want to see, what colors they like, even some color combos and of that nature. We've moved over to screen printing to have a better quality image that's not going to flake, it's not going to fade, it's going to be colors that these girls can utilize in the field. But we also have some of our everyday wear that's coming out as well. We have beanies, and it's just a whole slew of merch is dropping just a few days before this podcast airs. So make sure you jump over to womenofthewild.net and grab your merch, support us. What we are doing with that merchandise is the proceeds from merchandise is put aside, and that is put towards educational courses. It is put towards some of these first-time educational online or in-person events for us to support those girls, whether it's supplying their shells, the clays, whether it's supplying traps or canning equipment. Whatever it may be for that course is what the point of us having merchandise is for us to be able to support all these women that are coming on these events that are educational based. The funding is strictly for the education. We do offer a lot of events, and we offer them for great pricing. We do not mark those up. We don't make money off events. All of that is for those events, and we work with the outfitters or guides or captains to be able to produce the best quality for the price that you're getting. So food for thought there is, we are a functioning company that all of our money, all of our proceeds goes directly back into our company of how we can support more women. We are all volunteer, and we need things like our merchandise, our sponsorships, our calendars, our cookbooks. Those things are what produce us the ability to get out there and provide the education to others.
Yeah, and just in case all of those things that we've just talked about has not enticed you to follow us, support us, and everything else, let's touch just a small bit on some of maybe the giveaways that we've got going on that been in 2024.
Super excited for our giveaways. We have some hunts coming. We have some of our sponsors who have generously donated to us, especially some of our continued sponsors from the previous year. We have really dug our heels into some giveaways. We have almost one a month throughout the year of 24 as giveaways. And like I said, merchandise, we have products from our sponsors as giveaways. We have a couple of hunts throughout the year that we're going to be giving away. And some of those are exclusive to newsletter subscribers. So if we haven't stressed it enough how important it is to subscribe to that newsletter, the exclusive deals that you get for signing up for that $25 annual fee for a monthly newsletter. I mean, you're looking at like $2 a month for a newsletter. And what you're going to receive every single month are different promo codes for us with Women of the Wild. There's going to be promo codes for some of our sponsors, some of the companies we work with. So every single month this year for 2024, we are going to have giveaways. So adding your friends into the group, some of them will be exclusive to the private group. Some will be ran on Instagram, some on Facebook. We do have our YouTube channel. So building all of those platforms routes right back to the more that we're out there, the more we're inspiring, the more we're educating. And that is the purpose of Women of the Wild. So when we do these outreaches, these giveaways, it's all with the intent to grow who we're touching as far as being able to provide education and opportunity to more women, families, and youth.
Yeah, and I think we brought this up. Things are done by our PRs, our board, and our ambassadors, which are all volunteers. So I'd like that to be known. I think that that's really kind of important for everybody to realize that everything that we're doing is to give back to women out of what we feel is just important. So I really think that we've touched on everything. Anything else you guys need to add?
A big thank you to all of our followers, our listeners, our sponsors, everyone that is out there engaging in Women of the Wild. You know that you are making a difference, whether it's interjecting your knowledge to someone else at an event, whether it's sharing a recipe that inspired someone else to get out in the outdoors, whether it's a showcase piece. And like we said previously, even if it's something super minor, it might be huge to someone else to see that there's a way to do that. So I want to say thank you to everyone that participates with Women of the Wild at every level, whether it's sponsoring, whether it's coming out on an event, whether it's just making a post in there and spreading a conversation. It's all providing a sisterhood that social media can be a double-edged sword. But what we have with Women of the Wild is such a positive group. There's no negativity. There's no drama. It is just, let's go. Let's have fun. Let's get you educated and get you in the outdoors. So thank you to everyone that listens to us, that participates, and our entire team. We have a fantastic team of incredible women who are so knowledgeable and bring something different to the table. So big thank you to our team too, because we have an incredible team beside us.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, thank you to our listeners, and we will see you in 2024.
And now to the final segment to this week's episode of Women of the Wild podcast. We will conclude this segment by thanking our closing sponsors. Muzzy Pheasant Farms, a mid-Michigan family-owned and operated pheasant game preserve that is open year-round. Muzzy offers educational courses and hunts. They are family-oriented, creating a great opportunity for new and seasoned upland hunters. With no membership required, come hunt with Muzzy Pheasant Farms. You can find more information at muzzypheasantfarms.com or check them out on Facebook and Instagram. Blast and Cast Guide Service is a veteran-owned and operated Michigan-based guide service for the Great Lakes. With decades of experience of fishing and waterfowl, they ensure a safe and enjoyable trip every time. You can check them out at blastandcastguideservice.com or on Facebook and Instagram. Ultimate Veteran Adventures. UVA offers outdoor therapy, recreation, and camaraderie through hunting and fishing adventures around the country for veterans, active duty military, Gold Star families, and first responders. You can find them at Ultimate Veteran Adventures. You can find them at ultimateveteranadventures.com or on Facebook and Instagram. Sawmill Creek Bait and Lures, a husband and wife owned and operated company, the home of the C4, one of the best trapping canine lures on the market. You can find them at sawmillcreekbaitandlures.com or on Facebook and Instagram. Wicked 7 Outdoors, a Southwest Texas outfitter guide service with an exceptional care and quality of backcountry mountain hunts for free-range aoudad. Also offering high fence and low fence exotics, come immerse yourself in the outdoor experience. You can find Wicked 7 Outdoors on Facebook and Instagram. Misguided Outdoors is a female-driven Michigan-based guide service offering turkey and waterfowl hunts. Misguided is focused on educating women and youth, providing a hands-on hunt experience for all ages. You can find them on Facebook and Instagram. We thank you for tuning in